Hello, everyone. I am Justin Bogart. My co-announcer, Clay Dockery, is walking back here after getting the, hopefully, names and numbers of the two teams playing here today in this game slot on pitch 2. We have in green, Gulf Coast Gumbeaux on the left, and in red, we have the Rogues. All right, so we're live and we're ready for some bracket play, day 2 Quidditch here.
Don't think this is actually the bracket play. This is one of the games between the teams that were unable to pick up a win yesterday.
Okay.
0-4 Rogues versus
Got
0-4 Gumbeaux. These are some games to make sure that all these teams have a great experience here, have a chance to pick up a win. Especially in this case, the Rogues are a developmental team. It'll be nice for them to get another chance. Gumbeaux, I know, definitely came out here thinking they would pick up at least one win, probably to make the Division I club bracket. We're not able to do it, so I'm sure that they're going to be on top of their game in this game, trying to get as many goals as possible, trying to do as much as possible to get out of here with a win.
Alrighty, so
I'm Clay Dockery. I'll be doing play-by-play,
and I'm Justin Bogart. I will be doing color commentary, and it looks like we're just about to get underway.
All right, we have the starters to the lines. The Gumbeaux team has both bludgers. The Rogues team will start off with a quaffle and a bludger. We're still doing a little roster shuffling.
All right. The Rogues definitely bringing their intensity with their ready chant there.
Getting things off on a real nice high note to start with here. Rogues looking to get into their offense. Able to beat out one of the point chasers and get all the way to the hoop. That is tossed over to the Rogues keeper, who tries to hit it through the top hoop. It does not go in. Rogues chaser is able to scoop it up, but there is some kind of call on the far side of the field. This Gumbeaux team, very inexperienced as a team together, very experienced as individual players. This Rogues team, pretty inexperienced overall.
Yeah, even with the, years of Quidditch experience, if you're playing with, a new squad, it's hard to know how together you play.
All right, Rogues are able to get that back out of the zone to the big keeper number 5. If Justin can help me by saying the players' names when I say the numbers, then we'll be able to get the names for you pretty quickly.
Number 5 is not listed here, so.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
That is still Rogues ball. It was still Rogues ball, but it looks like one of the Gumbeaux chasers is able to knock it down, but it's taken down hard by the Rogues chaser. Really good defense by the Rogues, but the Gumbeaux chaser is able to get out of the zone with the ball. That's number 20, Owen Howell. And now there is a scrum on the far side of the field. We've got a bunch of Rogues players
Beaters are cleaning
all over the... but a Rogue, it is Howell who comes out with the quaffle. There is a stoppage in play. Referee on the far side asked for the stoppage in play.
I thought Rogues beaters were going to clean that up, and Rogues were going to come up with that quaffle there. But
that was a sloppy cleanup by the Rogues.
It was... exciting that Gulf Coast Gumbeaux was able to come out from the bottom of that scrum there with the quaffle.
All right, so the Gulf Coast Gumbeaux keeper, who is number 24, Pat Mitchell, is looking for an opening. No, that is going to be a turnover.
Oh,
no, it's just going to be moved back to the close chaser who was in the bottom of that scrum when play was stopped.
Yeah, so I guess with advantage, right, it goes back to the spot of the foul.
And that
there.
is a quick goal from Gumbeau's.
What number?
Number 38,
Here we go.
Nick Miller. So that's 38, Nick Miller with the goal, puts Gumbeaux up 10-0. Rogues, who had a pretty nice, pretty long offensive series the first time, able to get the ball to the back to number 44. That is a really nice goal from number 44 on the Rogues, Shea. That goal ties it up 10-10. Rogues really looking to make a statement against this Gumbeaux team. Gumbeaux really wanting to have a nice time out here, and as Sarah Nealing would say, the only way to have a nice time is if you win.
Oh, another stoppage of play.
There are a lot of stoppages of play in this game so far. It's not been a let the kids play environment.
Yep. But that was a beautiful block of the shot there by the Rogues to come up with the, as of right now, the quaffle. We'll see what this call is.
10-10 matchup. All right, so there is no call, it looks like. Rogues do have the quaffle behind the hoops, and Rogues do have both bludgers. They make an interesting choice to beat a transition chaser there, and then the ball goes up. Number 24 gets both hands on it, is able to keep the ball from going through the hoops. And that cleanup happens from number 7 on the Rogues, back up at the top of the key. Gets it to Bechard, number 0. Bechard is looking for an opening. Bludgers go everywhere, which does give Bechard a pretty clear look to the hoops. Gets it over to number 5 on this close side, who gets it back to number 44, who made the great goal last time down. Shea and Bechard had a lot of exchanges, but Gumbeau's Mitchell is able to come away with a quaffle from the bottom of the pile.
I think that was really good swarm defense there by the Gulf Coast Gumbeaux in that entire defensive set.
Gumbeaux bringing out a couple new chaser line players and a couple new beaters. I don't know. That is a stop by number 5 on the Rogues. Really good snatch of the ball out of the air. Amanda Dallas says hi. Sarah Nealing picks up a loose bludger, does not take a shot on the beater who's coming down. Instead, elects to press the keeper at the top of the key. That is a missed beat. And that is back to Shea behind the hoops. And Shea puts it home again. 20-0 on both on goals by Shea.
I was going to say that was good, aggressive beating by Sarah Nealing, but that misbeat really gave the opportunity to the Rogues to pass it behind the hoop there and find the open quaffle player.
Warriors are here to root on the Rogues, who are part of the Warriors program. And the Gumbeaux keeper, Mitchell, just goes through a tackle, goes through an attempt to one-arm wrap. You really need to move to two-arm wraps in modern-day game.
So, I think even with the two-arm wrap, it would be hard to take that
Mitchell.
player
Mitchell
down.
is a very large player.
Yeah, I think
You
you need a beater there.
You're definitely not going to take Mitchell down with one hand. There is yet another stoppage of play. This is our 5th stoppage of play in about 5 minutes of game time.
We have players waving at the stands here.
There is a warning on Bechard, possibly Bechand. My own handwriting, too bad to read. That is my fault. All right, Rogues with the quaffle coming back down the pitch. Gumbeaux was able to get set in their defense. Bashand takes is called beat before that pass. The goal is called good, but so it will be natural motion. That will be another goal for the Rogues. Really good ball movement that time. It is 30-20, Rogues in the lead. Number 21, Shields, is coming at chaser for Gumbeaux. And I will have to tell you that Shields once got into a drunken fight with a Pepsi machine.
Tell the Gumbeaux that I would tell them the stories about myself, the goodness to people.
Yes, the Rogues are able to get the missed shot by Gumbeaux. The quaffle is all the way. It is Shields who comes away with it. Shields comes away with the quaffle, which was rolling around for quite a while. Actually rolled all the way up the entire near side of the field. Got knocked a couple times, and Shields is able to keep it away from Rogues getting another goal on the board.
Yeah, both teams were definitely fighting for that loose ball there, but Gulf Coast Gumbeaux able to come up with it. All right, and looks like the shot came off before the beat. So
was that number 17?
I missed who it was, but
well, that's Shimazu at number 17, who I believe got that shot off. But that does make it 30-30. Rogues now with both bludgers coming up on offense. Bashand gets the ball behind the hoops. It is hard for me to see through people.
We have a lot of spectators here trying to cheer on these teams.
A couple knocks. I'm going to ask the spectator to move a little bit.
All right, Gulf Coast Gumbeaux looking to quickly run the quaffle down the pitch before the Rogues are able to set up on D, and finds the medium-sized hoop for the score there.
So, all right, so that is another goal from Gumbeaux. That does put Gumbeaux ahead 40-30 for the first time in the game. Rogues making a move, coming pretty strongly back up the field. Number 37 passes off to the far side, back to 0, to behind the hoops. Gumbeaux is swarming now, able to knock the ball down. Again, we have Shields who's able to cover it up.
Keep working together, y'all. You got this. Got Peter coming on your left. Ariana, Peter's on you.
Back to Shields. Shields takes a look from the top of the key, goes through a defender, is able to knock bludger out of the way, but it looks like the referees are going to decide if Shields was able to deflect that bludger or not.
All right. Looks like
that is called beat before. That goal is
before.
not going to count for
Nice.
Shields. It is still 40-30. That is good defense from the Rogues, who are going to be able to keep the quaffle. There are 2 bludgers beside the quaffle and 1 Rogues player.
And it sounds like we're about to have some line changes for the Rogues once play starts back up. Yep, here both 0 and 33 are coming out.
All right, there's fresh legs on the Rogues lineup, and both of those fresh legs make a break back to the back of the Gumbeaux defense. Rogues have held superiority in the bludger game for most of the game, and do here using both bludgers on offense, beating out the defender number 13. Number 37 gets a clearing to the short hoop, which falls down, and then while being held up, the Gumbeaux defenders are able to stop that drive.
It looked like the headband was covering the eyes for a little bit there.
Number 16 goes down to the ground. Unfortunately, number 16, when 16 was trying to go to an Atlanta Braves baseball game back in 2005, was stopped by a man outside and said, "Young man, your hair done messed around and got too wild." too wild, and it's all your fault. That is wild hair, Mr. Hader. That ball is to the far side. The pass back is immediately beat. That keeper on the field now for Rogues. I'll get the name in just a second. I just have to see her number one more time. Rogues are able to clean it up with the ball at the top of the key. Pretty slow play now from the Rogues trying to get their players back in the game. They had a lot of people knocked out just a second ago. Keeper number 6 for the Rogues. Is Jalea. Jalea had a really nice game yesterday for the Rogues, and the Rogues are looking for her leadership from the keeper position.
I think for both teams, the beaters are being pretty aggressive here.
Yeah,
I've seen
bludgers.
a lot of plays where all the bludgers are on the ground.
Including right here where the Rogues have no bludgers back. The big Mitchell just comes straight through that no bludger defense, not able to stop number 24, as number 24 is able to make it 50-30 in favor of the Gumbeaux.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, you definitely need a beater on to stop that momentum there.
Jalea steps around 2 defenders, is able to get a pass off, but that pass is scooped up by Mitchell.
See, again, we have all the bludgers on the ground for a second there, but not for long enough for the Gumbeaux to make a break for the hoops.
Number 38, Nick Miller, is able to catch that long pass before it goes out of bounds, makes a nice move to number 2, Thompson, and Thompson is able to put it home. That is a nice looking play from Miller to Thompson to get Gumbeaux a 60-30 lead, although there is also a card. It looks like that card is going to be on one of the Rogues.
I think that was, great positioning
Yeah.
from Thompson there, and the
So
small
that card
hoop.
on the Rogues was before the goal, so the goal will negate the time, but it is still a yellow card on the Rogues player. .95, who is now tagged back in and going out.
That is on the Rogues, 95. Kilkenny.
Kilkenny. There is a warning on the Rogues for
Ooh, that
slow
was a
play. That is
hard
a
hit
hard
there.
late hit from Hyder.
The ball was already passed out of the chaser's hand. Can't make that charge when the ball's already out.
Yep, so 16 will be going to, Hyder will be going to the box for 1 minute for the late contact on that yellow card. The quaffle will still be in the Rogues' hands, and the Rogues will be looking to take advantage of this power play. If they score a goal within the next minute, then Hyder will be released early, but that is a quick yellow card on Hyder.
All right, we have no bludgers for a
Jalea
brief
trying
moment,
to get
but
through that
swarm
short
defense.
hoop, but is the hoop falls down over the top of 2 players. We have players inside of the hoops. That hoop is in bad shape on the ground. I think we're going to have to stop play and see if it's going to be able to be repaired. That hoop
Definitely twisted.
That hoop is now looks like a balloon.
We call that tacoed.
Yeah. There were all of the contact on the hoop was incidental. That hoop just fell down over Mitchell, and then Mitchell was caught on the inside of it. But this is going to take a minute to get this hoop back into an ovular shape because it was.
I don't know. I think they may need a new hula hoop there. We'll see.
Yeah, it's also warped.
But that was great swarm defense by Gulf Coast Gumbeaux. I thought for a second there the Rogues quaffle player was going to find the hoop and dunk it, but all the players from Gulf Coast Gumbeaux came, swarmed, wrap, prevented that quaffle from being scored.
We are going to be in a stoppage for a little bit while we get some equipment replaced on the left side of the field here. So, Rogues started out strong in this game. We're able to get the lead for quite a while, but Gumbeaux has turned it on and turned things around. What does Rogues need to do to get back in it?
I think they need to, pass more near the hoops. I think they're trying to drive through a lot of defense by Gulf Coast Gumbeaux. Like right there, that player was trying to dunk it in the hoop. Gulf Coast Gumbeaux swarm with a lot of quaffle players. That means someone else is open. So if you're able to find that player, they should be able to find the inside of the hoop and score.
One of the hardest things to realize about the game is that if you can make a nice crisp pass, make that extra pass. Break in, pass out, pass again. People love to do the first or the second. They often takes a while to get them.
Yep.
How easy it is once you are able to get down the fundamentals on doing the third.
It'll also help if they're able to get bludger superiority back for our Canadian viewers.
All right, Jalea is running back to hoops. Mitchell is coming up with the quaffle. Gumbeaux is looking to really put this game a little further away with the next couple drives. Sarah kneeling back in at beater.
We have a very aggressive beating strategy by Gumbeaux right here with a beater behind the hoops.
Yeah, both beaters far up the pitch, really aggressively involved in the game. And that leads directly to a goal for Gumbeaux. I believe that is Thompson again with her second goal, and that will make it 7-3. 70-30, Gumbeaux in the lead.
Yeah, I think the beaters were definitely able to open that play up there.
Gumbeaux retained superiority even though they had been throwing bludgers all the way on the offensive zone behind the hoops. Jalea is looking for an opening.
All right.
Shea is calling for that quaffle from behind the hoops.
We have a bludger really far down the pitch here, out of the beater's control.
It's like Vashon hits Shea behind the hoops. Shea barely gets the ball out. Hayter is able to cover it up, get it over to Mitchell. Another good defensive stop from Gumbeaux. Gumbeaux really taking command, letting their superiority and physicality and in years of playing this game get them on top.
Yeah, I was going to say it was nice, the Rogues did try to make that pass there in that possession, but there was just too many defenders for Gulf Coast Gumbeaux.
Making that extra pass, you got to make it crisp.
Yep.
All right, that is once again. That fell through. It looked like it fell through to me.
Yeah, I think Thompson's playing a great game here for Gulf Coast Gumbeaux. Almost having another goal.
This is Howell, who's down at the bottom of this pile. I may have confused Howell and Hayter earlier. They both have similar hairstyles, but I'm not sure about that. Number 20 is Howell. Number 16 is Hayter.
All right, looks like the Rogues are going to have this underneath that pile.
Yes, Rogues come away with the quaffle and bludger control. So, Rogues really want to use their advantage this time. The Gumbeaux went aggressive again, did not work out for them. This is the opportunity the Rogues have to get another goal back on the game, on the board, and get back in the game. Beater's still very aggressive. Pass behind to Shea.
Here we go. Oh,
Shea is able to block the bludger, but then drops. Oh, no, I think they were called beat late.
see, I think they had a passing opportunity briefly there right before they got beat. Got to be quicker on the trigger there when a beater's pressuring you.
Nick Miller sets a screen that frees up Mitchell. Number 44 comes off brim, and Mitchell is able to hit.
I believe that was number 12, I believe.
Is able to hit Johnson on the short hoop. That was a really pretty play from Gumbeaux. Gumbeaux goes up 80-30, and that means that Rogues take the opportunity to take a timeout. Rogues in this timeout have to talk about what we were just talking about before. I think it probably would have been better for them to take the timeout 2 drives ago. But now they're doing it. Now they need to slow down. They need to calm down. They need to think about that extra dish. They can get goals on this Gumbeaux defense, but they can't do it just lobbing up passes and trying to drive.
Yeah, it seems like driving's not working on this physical Gumbeaux defense here. Definitely have to look to draw the defense, and then right before getting wrapped or getting hit, finding that open player and trying to give someone else on your team the opportunity to score. I think on the other end, Gulf Coast Gumbeau's positioning themselves very well on the offensive end, finding that open player that's able to score, leading. Yep.
If this Gumbeaux team continues to make their beats and hold or regain control after they make these aggressive plays, then it will be very difficult for Rogues. But if Rogues can find some cracks in that and get in those moments when these Gumbeaux beaters are making big plays, there's opportunity there. There's time there. There's chances for Rogues to take a step, take a moment, and break while that ball is in the air.
Yeah, definitely seeing the experience with the Gulf Coast Gumbeaux beaters in this game.
I do agree with the coach on the sidelines for the Rogues there.
I believe.
That would be Alex Amadal.
Yep.
And that ball goes out of bounds. That pass was just too tall, and it was too tall for number 0, and Rogues are a little bit back on their heels here. This is not going to be good with a big chaser, Nick Miller, who makes the pass, that outlet pass. Tosses it over. That's the second goal in a row for number 12, Johnson. And that will make it 90-30.
See, again, the Gulf Coast Gumbeaux players not just trying to drive, but once they got met by the Rogues defense, they were able to pass it off to the open player for the easy score there.
And Johnson in perfect position to put it away. Jalea up to the top to Shea. So top, and there is a stop. We got a yellow card. One of the people out there yelled.
Screaming.
So let's see if that is in fact what happens. I do see head referee reaching for the yellow.
On.
Yellow's being shown to number 12.
I was gonna say if it was on Gulf Coast Gumbeaux, that could have been an advantage opportunity, but it was on the Rogues, so play stops. And
Now, did 12 turn over and become a beater, or were you playing? Were we discussing the person who scored those last 2 goals? No, number 12 on
Gumbeaux.
All right, yes, good. I was just testing you.
That's all right. I passed the test. It is early in the day on Sunday, day 2, but announcers have to be awake, so.
Have to be ready for anything, including the fact that there are 2 different teams on the field.
Yep.
Who would have ever guessed
Gulf
it?
Coast Gumbeaux.
Mitchell with nobody in front of him,
Breaking.
looking to drive and dish, but number 17 is not able to come away with it. Shemazu comes through. That was an attempt at a shot. I would have tossed it over to 12, who was in great position again.
It looked like it was half a shot, half a pass. Not maybe the player was hesitant, didn't really know whether they wanted to shoot or pass, and it kind of split the difference there.
Yes, Shimizu had an angle at the goal, but had a better angle on the pass, and it looked like it was trying to split the difference, and that made it not hit either place.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we have both a Gumbeaux player and a Rogues player down. We'll take a moment, make sure everybody's okay on the pitch. Nothing has really changed as far as game strategy at this point. It is 90 for the Gumbeaux, 30 for the Rogues. Do you see where Rogues can get? Oh, yes, it's going to be 12 with the ball over here on the close side of the pitch on the right. 20 is right there. That's Howell right there to give Johnson an outlet. Mitchell right there as well. Only, that is a yellow on
Neck contact.
Rogues number 7 for neck contact.
Gladstone.
Which now means those 3 Gumbeaux players have no defender around them. Because
they have the rogue keeper.
The rogue keeper just took about 4 steps to suddenly be in contesting the play.
Yep.
Yes, Shimizu is unable to come away with the pass. And now Jalea is able to cover it up. That was a nice defensive stop from the Rogues. Rogues will want to slow this down, kill the penalty for number 7. And that's what they're doing. Although they can't go too slow, they're going. Although Mitchell with the press is actually able to stop them from delay of game. I think the referee was ready to call that blue. So the referee has already given the warning, and that was real slow until that press came.
I thought it looks like
One
of the Rogues players is coming back, but there's still another one
Deshaun
in
hit
the box.
Shea behind the hoops, and Shea is hit hard. Unfortunately, Shea goes down hard.
I was gonna say, with the multiple players of the Rogues in the box, I thought the Gulf Coast Gumbeaux beaters would have been playing more aggressive, trying to get a fast break opportunity, but it looked like they sat back and waited for the offense to come to them.
It's going to be a yellow on number 20. Looks like it's contact to the shoulder on number 20, Howell. So Howell goes to the box for 1 minute, or until the Rogues are able to get a goal. And that is going to be the reset for the Rogues. They're just trying to get back out of the zone, take their time, get a nice look while they're on the power play.
I think that was a good reset because the Gulf Coast Gumbeaux beaters just beat out every player that was still on the pitch for Rogues, pretty much. Looks like all the players are back on for Rogues.
It is still Sarah Nealing and Tran out there at beater. And this time, Rogues are finally able to get a goal. That is Shea who puts it home. And that is 90-40. And that does mean that the Rogues are able to capitalize on the power play. Howell comes out of the box, but not before the Rogues get on the board for the first time in more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think what happened there was the Rogues penalty time was up. They had a brief power play and they were able to find the score there.
Howell looking to make something happen now that he's back on the pitch. Howell takes a nice little shot pass. That's the type of shot pass that you'd like to see. And that is also the type of shot pass that you like to see. Both of those could have gone in the hoops, but if they didn't go in the hoops, they go straight to the teammate. But Rogues with a nice defensive stop. Unfortunately, one of the, I think it's Howell.
Yep.
It is Howell who's down. Looks pretty clearly injured. We're going to take a moment, make sure that Howell's okay. So we always want to make sure that there's no injuries. So hopefully Howell getting up. Looks like Howell may have hit his head. So we'll definitely get an athletic trainer out there to take a look. In the meantime, after Tran and Nealing came onto the field in the last transition, they have held the bludgers for Gumbeaux and held their defense. And then the physicality, the size of these Gumbeaux players have been a bit much for these much smaller, much younger Rogues players.
Yeah, I was going to say, we like seeing those shot passes, right? But it also means that the player behind the hoops had to have really good positioning there to recover the shot if in that case it doesn't go through, and they were right there to grab onto the quaffle
And
on the other end.
here we go. It's definitely a leg injury on Howell. Hopefully Howell will be able to be checked out and be able to get back out here. You definitely don't want to see any injuries, especially in these games that are more to just get people experience and time out on the pitch, because it's very hard to come away from an injury in a game that is supposed to be fun. So we'll definitely look for, hopefully Howell will get this cleared up and get back on the pitch. We're going to have a replacement out there for Howell. It looks like it is Nick Miller. Since we've been talking so much about this, I do want to note that Miller, despite being on Gumbeaux and very large, is a rookie. So that is a significant, I thought, to make sure that we noted that about Big Nick Miller. There is a yellow card. Looks like
13 on
number
Gumbeaux.
13 had come in at beater, replaced Sarah Kneeling.
Sanchez.
Yes, that is Sanchez, who is now in the box with a yellow card, unsure why.
So let's see if the Rogues can,
Rogues look to capitalize again. Jalea
capitalize
gets
on-
a pass behind. It gets into Shea's hands. Shea is making a move. Mitchell takes Shea down.
We have another
And
injury.
there is yet another injury. We hate to see how
Looks like a
just
shoulder.
difficult this game has been, with a lot of clean play from both teams. I will say both really clean play. The stoppages that we've seen were close. They were not aggressive or intentional types of plays. Just a little bit of sloppy play sometimes. I think the field is a little slick out here this morning, and people are just losing their footing. People are a little tired after playing 4 games yesterday, and unfortunately we've seen far too many injuries in the last couple minutes here. Shea is walking off the field under their own power, however, holding their shoulder. So again, we once again hope to see Shea get back out here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's hard playing 2 days of Quidditch. So day 2, definitely your body is feeling day 1 more prone to these injuries, but hopefully not too serious. And they can get back on the pitch and play the sport that they love. All right, we're at 19 minutes, so almost done with the first period.
Yes. Mitchell hits Miller on this far side, hits Johnson behind the hoops. Johnson is taken down, and Shields is able to pick it up. Shields looking to make a move. Shields gets around one defender, puts it back to Mitchell at the top. And there is yet another stoppage. Unfortunately, the number of stoppages has just made this game very choppy.
I was going to say, while this is stopped here, the Gulf Coast Gumbeaux players are able to have been really good with the ball movement here, kind of spreading the Rogues defense.
Shields, who was beat out, headed back. Oh, yeah, Miller gets a shot off, but that block is a nice block by number 7 from Rogues. That is a very good move. Gladstone able to block it, cover it up, and give it off to Jalea.
Another.
Somehow there is yet another stoppage.
I was going to say, Jalea took a hard hit there, put their body on the line, was integral to that stop, because Gulf Coast Gumbeaux was looking just to use their momentum and drive to the hoop.
Somehow that, I guess that...
It looked clean to me. I don't know.
The physicality that Jalea brought to that play is not rewarded in this game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Jalea is passing the green headband off to Lutz, number 37. Number 37 will not switch positions on the field. There's a little confusion from these young Rogues players. Jalea will be going to the box for 1 minute or until Gumbeaux can score. And the quaffle does go over to Gumbeaux. So Miller has it at the center. Shields and Mitchell on the far side of the pitch. Shields gets it. Shields, as valedictorian of his high school, was banned from giving the graduation speech because, as they said, this thing is just too bleak.
All right, so I thought that was going to be the last possession for Gumbeaux, but Rogues were able to pick it up with 1 second left of the first period, and now they have the last possession.
So Rogues with the last possession before 20 minutes, down 90-40, looking to make one last goal to really bring this thing a lot closer.
Oh, and that was a pass.
That was a pass over to the beater. The chaser number 0, Bashand, is able to get to it. The reset is used, but they are able to keep possession, which is key at this point. They do not want to come out of this without getting a goal. A goal here would be essential for them. Pass in to 37
Here we
Lutz.
go. Oh.
37 passes out, trying to make that last pass we were talking about earlier, and it does not work out for them. Miller has the quaffle, and finally time is called.
All right.
All right, that is the 20-minute mark. So we are here at our Seeker floor break, and I just want to mention that our live stream feed is brought to you by Hit Your Mark Productions. Hit Your Mark Productions producing our live stream feeds for us. Very great work. And all of your merchandise here at US Quidditch Cup 2022, your merchandise needs can be filled by VC Ultimate. Beautiful stuff they've got here. Great branding for this not World Cup.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're
US
both old.
Quidditch Cup.
US Quidditch Cup 2022. And if you do see an IQA jacket, IQA with the USQ with a USQ patch, that belongs to Justin Bogart, and you can bring it to the tent on pitch 2, please. If you find it, bring it. So we have a set score for this game. The set score would be 70 points above the team with the lead.
So
Team with the lead.
160.
The team with the lead is Gumbeaux. They have 90. That score is 160. Either team hits 160, that team will win this game. So that is our set score. And the snitch is now coming out onto the pitch. And the snitch will be worth 35 points. Either team can catch the snitch. That will be good for 35 points for them. Either team will continue to get 10 points for any goals scored for their side. What do the Rogues need to do once snitch on pitch has started here? Should they sell out against the snitch? They put everything into the quaffle game and just try to get goals. If they start giving up goals, Gumbeaux will run away with this thing.
Yeah, I think obviously stops are important. It's going to be very difficult because now their focus is going to be split between the snitch and the quaffle game. Really, they've been struggling with the ball movement that Gulf Coast Gumbeaux has been playing with. So I think they need to, on defense, be quicker with their shifts so they can pick up that open, that player who's getting passed to. Gulf Coast Gumbeaux has been very crisp with their passing in the first period.
Our snitch for this game is Jared Bailey. You may have been able to hear just quietly off in the distance a very large contingent of fans for Jared calling out his name. The snitch can definitely win Quidditch matches if the snitch is not caught, and it has happened many, many times over the course of this US Quidditch Nationals that the snitch has won the game.
Yes, I may be biased, I'm a chaser, but I do love these new end of game procedures with the set score.
Miller trying to get through the defense. Miller looking for an open lane. Miller makes a pass to no one over the top of the field. Mitchell tries to get to it. That has to be out of bounds, and it is.
See, that was a good defensive playing by Rogues where they seem to be pressing the Gulf Coast Gumbeaux before Gumbeaux was able to find good positioning there. Led to that errant pass to no one behind the hoops and the turnover.
Gumbeaux has a big seeker in, Jurgensen, number 9. I don't see the Rogues keeper. There is a Rogue seeker trailing the play just a little bit. Now Rogues are looking to make something happen on offense after the missed shot from Gumbeaux. That is a nice pass behind Jalea. Jalea gets it back over to Gladstone on this side, and it winds up in Mitchell's hands once again.
So it looks like the Rogues beaters are focusing on the quaffle game.
Whereas Gumbeaux has one beater who is focused on the Seeker.
Yeah, so this is going to give Gumbeaux a lot of individual looks on the snitch.
Gumbeaux beats out the Seeker and then is able to transition both of their beaters into the quaffle game, and that leads to a transition goal.
I believe they gave that goal to Thompson, but the other Gumbeaux player was playing to the whistle, also trying to shoot.
That's just make sure that make sure it goes through that hoop. Doesn't matter who puts it in, doesn't matter how many times. Make sure it goes in, because if the ref doesn't see it the first time, hopefully they'll see it the second. But I think they saw it the first time that time.
I believe so.
That's a missed beat by number 42. That does not clear out the zone, but Jalea is able to get the quaffle on the far side and put it through. That makes it 100 to 50. Gumbeaux still in the lead. Set score still 160, but that is a nice goal for for Rogues to keep in this game. And this is a drive from Mitchell. Mitchell going through the entire Gumbeaux defense, but it rolls around on the ground for a second. Either Mitchell or Miller, one of them is able to pick it up and put it through the hoop.
Gumbeaux Seeger just full on tackled the snitch there.
It is now 110 to 50. Set score still 160. Gumbeaux only needs 5 goals to win. It is a yellow card on the Gumbeaux Seeker for it's a yellow card on the Gumbeaux Seeker.
Yes, I believe
for the
charging
the snitch.
Yeah, I believe I agree with that call. Sometimes it's they let the Seekers get away with a little bit of charging on the snitch, but not that time.
All right. Thompson gets free. Thompson came free out of that scrum with the quaffle, made a move around 3 Rogues players, and dunks the ball home. That is 120 to 50. Gumbeaux really feeling it now, only 3 goals away. If they do happen to catch the snitch, they cannot catch the snitch currently because their Seeker is now coming out. But no, the Seeker is not coming out. I thought I saw him coming out, but he's not coming out yet. Right now, it's just Rogues in the Seeker game.
Sometimes I've seen teams score on themselves to release their own Seeker.
Definitely was not the move in this case.
Yep.
Mitchell was sniped, and so the Rogues are able to get the quaffle back. Bashand is really hit by Miller. Miller with aggressive physicality just overwhelmed Rogues, but Rogues are able to hold on to the quaffle, able to settle back down. They really want to get a goal here.
I like that, change of look by the Gumbeaux with the very high press there. They unfortunately weren't able to come up with the quaffle, but
Jalea is pushed backwards.
Maybe a double reset. Again, from the aggressive pressing from Gulf Coast Gumbeaux may have caused a double reset.
Yeah, that
The
is going to be a blue card.
Coach is saying that the Rogues player was pushed over the midfield line, so shouldn't have been called a reset, but seems like it's called
All
a
right,
reset. And
so
we have a blue card.
the blue card is for the illegal reset.
Okay.
And that is Thompson to Mitchell. That is now an assist to go along with the 4 goals for Thompson. It is 130 to 50. Gumbeaux about to put the finishing touches on this.
Yeah, so if Gumbeaux catches this, I believe that would bring them over the set score. So now the Rogues beater was beating out the Gulf Coast Gumbeaux seeker.
Bashand looking for an outlet. Shea is snipe beat at the last second. Believe that was Sarah Nealing. Yes, that was Sarah Nealing making a nice beat at the last minute there. Another stoppage as Nick Miller wanted to get up and run with it. Gumbeaux coach a little bit frustrated with some of the calls in the game so far, but it's been a fair called game.
Yeah.
Both teams have had the same type of refereeing for both sides, so that's really a positive that you can say about that.
So, if calls need to be made, calls need to be made, as long as consistency is key.
That is a yellow card on Miller. I think for us, it was unclear what the call was. But Miller does have to go to the box with a yellow. That gives Jalea the ball. Jalea gets free from Thompson. Thompson falls off Broom. That is a nice move over to the right side. That is the type of score the Rogues really wanted to show they can stay in this game. That was Bashand. It is 130-60.
Yeah, the beaters for Gulf Coast Gumbeaux were focusing on the snitch there, so the Rogues were able to swing the ball around in the quaffle game and find the score.
Mitchell not able to get it in. Thompson not able to clean it up on the backside. Jalea does clean it up. Gets it over to Shea.
Gulf Coast Gumbeaux has some alone time with a snitch here. Let's see if they can end the game. We have a veteran snitch in this game, though, so very difficult to get caught.
Yeah, Bailey wants the win.
Yep.
That is called clear on the beat attempt, and Gladstone is able to clean it up behind the hoops. It's taken down. There's 5 Gumbeaux players down there. I can't really see what's happening with a person standing between me and where the ball is.
I think it was Thompson.
And it's Mitchell who comes away. Mitchell looking to break
Thompson with the wrap.
with only one of his beaters on the other side. That is nice physicality to hold Mitchell up.
What?
Another quick call on 0,
Maybe for
Bashand.
low wrap, like contact a little too low on that wrap.
Mitchell's very large. Bashand did come in. I thought that Bashand was around the waist.
That's what I thought as well. But
Mitchell was able to deflect the bludger right after that contact and was looking to get a step. It looks like
the refs are
only
still
number 44 as a quaffle player actually on Broom between Mitchell and the hoops.
Okay, yep.
So 0 goes to the box with a yellow card.
Wow.
Now all the bludgers are on the
Yep.
ground.
That was
Thompson
really
picks
good
it up.
beating by the Rogues.
Thompson makes a nice move. Thompson around Gladstone. Thompson passes it off to Miller. Miller takes a drive, dunks, goes through Shea. Unfortunately, that is once again not pretty from Shea, who took some nasty contact and hit the ground.
I'm really liking this matchup. I think it's Gladstone for the Rogues and Thompson for Gulf Coast Gumbeaux. Thompson's been scoring a lot of goals, but Gladstone with the nice wrap there.
It
Good
remains
defense.
130-60. Gumbeaux 2 goals away or a snitch catch away. Either of those things would get Gumbeaux to the set score. Rogues continuing to play very hard. I just continue to worry about potential injuries for either team out here. We're having a bit of water break while we're stopped for this injury. We're definitely going to get a trainer out there to take a look at the player.
The goal, I believe, is going to be called no good.
So looking at the other parts of the brackets on display today, are there any matchups that are already known that you're very excited to see?
I don't know if these matchups are known yet, but
Well, let's not break any confidential information. Just
I was gonna say who I would hope to see.
okay.
In
Yes.
the bracket.
What
Yeah.
would you like to see, Matt?
I believe
it's
I think-
Middlebury in the final.
No. Middlebury has some, I think, games like this where they can get some playing time on a day 2. They had a limited roster yesterday, so they didn't come up with wins. But I was going to say, I think in the bracket for club, I think Cavalry is in the same side as Warriors, I believe. I'll have to fact check that, but if I could see Cavalry play Warriors, I think that would be a really nice matchup to watch.
Only facts we got here are about number 21 on Gulf Coast Gumbeaux. Yes, that would be a really great matchup. I'm excited about any of the matchups that come for us. I mean, watching this Creighton team in their next round where they're going to play the Kansas team that I just watched come from behind against Virginia Tech. They know each other well. Creighton, very, very good. Probably too much for that Kansas team to handle. But for that Sweet 16 matchup, for teams that know each other like that, I'm pretty excited to see if maybe Kansas could pull something out. Thankfully, Shea is able to walk off the field. Very good to see. We're very hopeful to see that not be a long-lasting injury. Hopefully it's not a concussion or anything like that. But we're going to resume play here now.
Yeah, about Creighton, I think I watched them in Oktoberfest. They traveled, out of region for that. They definitely have a lot of athletes on that squad. So
We're resuming.
all right, so we've resumed play after that injury stoppage, and the Rogues are taking up the quaffle here, and we may. Oh nope, almost a catch there, but the refs are waving it off.
They didn't fill it out.
All right, plays resumed. Beater exchange on the top by the midfield line. Rogues looking to drive. Shot is good for the Rogues.
Nice on the Rogues there, getting yet another goal, making it 130-70. Mitchell trying 140-70. Mitchell tries to end the game right there. Is unable to do so, but Thompson grabs it, and Bashand is able to stop that from rolling into that short hoop. It looked pretty dangerous for Rogues for a moment, but Rogues are able to pull it out. 140-70 now. It's goal to win for Gulf Coast Gumbeaux. Oh, nope, it is not goal to win for Gulf Coast Gumbeaux. I misread my own handwriting once again. 160 is the set score, not 150.
The Gulf Coast Gumbeaux giving Rogues a lot of alone time with the snitch.
Pass back to the far corner with Rogues. Rogues looking for a transition bucket. That pass is too high. Rogues number 37 is able to collapse on it out of bounds. So that means that Gulf Coast Gumbeaux number 13, who had a nice, that is Sanchez with a nice hustle play to make sure that she got there first.
Gulf Coast Gumbeaux Seeker finally getting back in on the snitch here.
Mitchell has Miller on the far side. Miller to the short hoop gets that number 150. Now
Yep.
it is 1 goal to go for Gulf Coast Gumbeaux.
It has just been made known to the players that it is the last 1 goal to win for Gumbeaux.
Pass it back to Jalea. Jalea tries to get it back to Bashan. The deflection is not enough to stop it from getting into Bashan's hands, and Bashan gets the shot off through the top hoop. It is 150 to 80.
All
this
right,
is
here
goal
we
to go
go.
for Gulf Coast.
Rogues
Gulf Coast
need to
Gumbeaux.
stop here.
Mitchell leads it down the field.
Oh,
Mitchell with no one in front. No,
wait.
no, there's a stoppage. There is a stoppage
The
on this
Rogues
side of
may
the
have
field.
caught before the goal.
Kilkenny with the catch. Kilkenny with the catch.
I believe that happened before the goal. So I think. How are bang calls
Well, here's the thing.
made?
Was the snitch referee, the lead assistant referee who was there, was that snitch referee blowing the whistle? Because if you're blowing the whistle, that stops play when the whistle is being blown. So
I think they were just screaming for play to stop. I don't know if they actually blew a whistle.
I think in that case, if play was not stopped, I think both will be good. The snitch catch for Kilkenny and the goal for Mitchell.
I think.
That snitch catch is definitely called good for Rogues.
Let's see.
That puts
I think
Rogues score.
The goal is no good. So I think they did call that the snitch catch happened before the goal, which I think is the right call. I think the snitch ref just didn't have a whistle and couldn't blow the whistle to stop play.
The snitch ref should have had a whistle to stop play. The head referee, I think, in a good move, determined that play would have been stopped, but now
yep.
the goal is good. So Gulf Coast Gumbeaux with the same result. Mitchell with the golden goal to win the game. Rogues put up a really nice showing. That snitch catch makes the score very respectable. And but Gulf Coast Gumbeaux puts it out there for the 160 to 115 win. Well, thank you, Justin, for joining me here today. We will be back with you here on Pitch 2 as soon as we get the next games ready to go. Don't have a schedule in front of me at the moment, but I'm sure it will be great, so you should come back and join us here at US Quidditch Championships 2022. Clay Dockery signing off for now.